Hi everybody, Elisa here with Rosie, who just bolted, and Peaches. Oh God, I feel like there's going to be dog wrestling starting here soon. Let's hope it doesn't devolve into chaos in a minute. Doggy chaos. I thought I would jump on really quick because I really need to get to work. I have a lot of work and I shouldn't be, sorry for the dog shaking noises. I really shouldn't be doing a video right now, but I went to my grocery store this morning and there's a retailer nearby who has Vera, and I was just going in there thinking, well, I'll try to see if they have the new Rosa patterns out. There's that Rosa Floral and Rosa Agate, I think is the reactive version or companion. I do think the concept of the agate one is interesting, especially because I like stones, I like jewelry. And you do, agate is often used in jewelry, but really not crazy about either of those patterns. I don't like the colors, and I think they look a little bit like factory outlet patterns, unfortunately, which would be fine if they were for the factory outlet stores, but I don't like them as a signature line, and I don't like them at all, just in general. I don't like the colors or the look of them. I think they look, especially the floral one, I think that looks kind of dated. But much to my surprise, they had the hanging around pattern. They had items in it out, which people probably know is the sloth pattern that is due out very, very soon. I mean, I think it's been slightly delayed for some reason, but they got a shipment in and they put stuff out. I'm not going to say who they are. I don't want them to get in trouble. And I do know sometimes those independent retailers are allowed to put stuff out early, or when they get it, So I just thought I would show what I got in case people are curious to get a look at it before it's out. And again, it's hanging around as the sloth pattern, and I'm just in love. I just can't with this pattern. It is so cute, but yet at the same time pretty. And oh my word, please, puppies. Now you know what my life is like. So this is the Turnlock. As soon as I saw the Turnlock like the minute I walk in the store, and I was like, oh my God. Dogs. Hey, Rosie, stop hanging on her like she's a big chew toy, okay? Oh. So I thought, I did have some discounts at this store, reward points at this store, so I got some discounts, which is good, which is why I decided to take advantage of rather than wait to order, and maybe wait for a sale or a Vera coupon. So I could pick out some pattern placement, but I have to say that it's not as problematic as I was worried it would be. They showed us this pattern in the focus group that I'm in a while back, and when I saw the swatch, I thought, oh, this is great. I love this pattern placement. It's going to be challenging, but I think I'm wrong about that because there's so many sloths in this pattern that I feel like you can't really go wrong. I mean, you may have some sloths that you like more than others and you might be looking to try to get, but in general, I mean, if you order stuff, I can't imagine being disappointed really overall. And some of these sloths, which I didn't realize when they showed us the pattern, are holding babies, which is baby sloths, not human babies. That would be weird. They're holding baby sloths, and so that's just like an added, layer of cuteness. And something I didn't notice, I don't know if it was in the pattern swatch, but I was just noticing it when I got home. There are butterflies in both the main pattern and the lining pattern, which I did not realize. And so I'm just like over the moon about the butterflies too. So I just love this guy hanging upside down, and I think that's a baby sloth face there, and that's the upside down mama face or papa face. They are so cute, and I love the foliage. There's a butterfly. And I do love this delicate tiny leaf work of the touches of green. The background is a very nice soft teal. It's looking a little bit bluer on my screen than it is in person, but it is a teal, very soft, so it kind of almost has a vintage feel. You know, I don't know what your phone or screen or whatever you're watching on, you know, how the color's calibrated and how it will look. There's another butterfly right there. And so this pattern, I mean, the Turnlock people probably know, which is a wallet that I just love. The fabric wraps around, so there's no seam, and so whatever's on this side is going to technically be upside down, but you know, it doesn't matter with this pattern because the sloths are hanging every which way. Even when the fabric is right side up, there are some upside down sloths. So it works either way. So that's great. That's what's really nice about this. Here's another pairing baby sloth there. Mama and baby. And here it is, you know, everything is upside down technically. So I got that because I do love the Turnlock. Was happy to see that. Did get a Riley because they're really handy. I like the wallet, and I have videos on this wallet from a long time ago, and was the first Vera wallet style I had. My husband got me one in Havana Rose, and just I fell in love with it. And it's got great organizational options, a lot going on inside for a small wallet. I mean, it still fits nicely in like a mini Glenna or a Glenna or a smaller bag. And so that's why it's useful, because this, as I always say, is kind of a space hog. When you start getting to smaller bags, sometimes it just takes up too much space. So I did get this Riley. And again, this is another style where it's one piece of fabric, you know, wrapping. And so technically this is upside down, but you know, it works really well there. Just looks like it's supposed to be hanging upside down. Or she. How do you tell the difference between a male and a female sloth? But here on the Riley, you get a nice look at the lining. Butterfly there. Butterfly there. I don't know if there's more. And I think this one up here is just a repeat of this one, maybe. It kind of looks like it. Really nice, you know, picking up the elements, the leaf elements and the flower elements from the outside. And I do love that yellow flower, that white flower with the yellow in the center, because it reminds me of frangipani, which is a beautiful tropical flower. And there's a variation of frangipani that is the center is yellow, and then it gradates, the leaves gradate out to white. People familiar with frangipani and the beautiful spiral way that the leaves open, the petals open up. So got that, the Riley. This was a medium cosmetic, which I did have at the retailer. I didn't get this at the retailer. I got this on Dillard, the Dillard's website, for like a hot minute. They had this up, and I knew that the pattern had been postponed, and so a little bit, just delayed a little bit, the release of it. And so, I mean, I think it's been delayed. I mean, people were saying it was supposed to be out already this August, but maybe it's not a delay. Maybe this is what they intended. I don't know. But anyway, I saw it, so I ordered it. It was the only thing they had, and then it was gone. So I just kind of lucked out that this came to me, you know, sort of ahead of time. Again, very cute. This is, you know, your basic medium cosmetic. Although I noticed, and I really love this, no tag. No, I mean, I don't mind, you know, in the Vera totes now, they have that sort of fabric tag on a seam off to the side, and I like that. I prefer that to that pleather label. Couldn't stand the pleather label. So I'm glad to see that gone. That's the one thing I'm really glad to see gone with this recycle, change to recycle. Again, really just very cute. I think this is a baby held by an adult sloth. There's a butterfly there, right in there. I think that's a butterfly. I think, yes. It's really just very cute. And then, of course, the zip ID. You gotta get the zip ID, right? I have so many. There's so many of these. I should count how many I have of these. They're all over the place, all throughout my closet, all up and through my closet somewhere. It's the zip IDs. I just liked this guy. I liked his body position, the way he's sort of looking out at the viewer. You know, I liked his expression. So I went with this one. Plus, I thought this branch with the flowers was a nice line. It's interesting. The branches were interesting in this one for me too. On the front, I thought this one was cute. So you can see here, you can see the inside and the outside sort of together. So I got that. And then for some strange reason, the only thing I tend to be matchy-matchy with the Vera are the zip IDs and the lanyards. I like those to match. So if I'm getting a zip ID, I feel compelled to get a lanyard in case there's a situation where I want a lanyard. And they had some good lanyards. And I did have another zip ID to show, so I got two. And I picked these two. They had others, but I picked these two because they happen to have a bit of faces in them, which is kind of difficult, on such a narrow strip of fabric. It's kind of difficult to get something a little cute, whatever, so I went with those. And the second lanyard is for this. I was wondering when we knew this pattern was coming out, I was wondering if they would do some kind of novelty zip ID, and sure enough they did. And so I decided to get it. It's unquilted cotton. And it's not, I would have preferred to see this all embroidered, but only the face is embroidered and these details are sort of embroidered, but the sloth itself is sort of that fuzzy fabric that if people have the, there you go. If people have the Cozy Plaid neutral tote with the big deer on it with the scarf, they know that the deer is that fuzzy sort of fabric, and that's what this is. Cute face. And so I had to have the, a zip ID. I mean a lanyard for this zip ID as well. Because, you have to have your lanyards. And I couldn't resist the checkbook cover, again, because I felt like it was a nice way to get a bit of the fabric, see the fabric, uninterrupted. Butterflies. I'm so pleased with the butterflies. It's like such a nice surprise for me because they may have been in the pattern when we saw the swatch and the focus group, but I didn't notice them. I don't think there's any on the back. Oh, there's one sort of on the back there. Oh yeah, there's one. Yeah, so I like that sloth with the baby sloth. What's inside? Didn't even really open this up in the store. Oh, there's that sloth. Oh, but two of the sloths that I like. Sloths that I like so much. On the top, the one that's hanging, the position that I like. And on the bottom, the other hanging one that I like. Of course, that'll be covered by my checkbook, but I'll know it's there. So very pleased. That's it. Oh, and the retailer was also doing that promotion where you get this free, what is this thing called? Free gift. It's not really free. RFID convertible pouch crossbody in Java Navy Camo. People probably are familiar with the original Java Blue pattern, which is a great vintage pattern. I'm not sure if it still is, but at one time, for a long time, it was the best-selling Vera Bradley pattern. It may still be, I don't know. But it's beautiful. It took me a little while to warm up to it because of the colors. but I am totally on board with it now. I think it's a gorgeous pattern. There is a Java purple version right now. People might not be aware. It's in the custom fabric options. I'm not a huge fan of that. I don't like that one, actually. Don't like the colors. It's too purple for me. It's too Barney-like for me. But I do like this version a lot. I think it modernizes it with the sort of camo color scheme. And it's just a beautiful pattern. I do have some videos on Java Blue, the original, so showing some of my vintage bags and that. I mean, this has a very dense, lush kind of look to it. A lot going on in this pattern, a lot of beautiful line work and swirls, and it's sort of a very like South Asian kind of Indian kind of look, like the influences in it. It's just, beautiful. Now, I feel like they don't make them like this anymore. The current patterns aren't like this anymore, which is interesting that their design aesthetic seems to have gotten a little simpler, whereas it was more complex back in the day when you think of patterns like this and like, excuse me, Symphony and Hue and Blue Rhapsody. Very rich, very complex patterns with a lot going on. I'll just try to turn it inside out. So this does have a strap, because the lining is pretty too. The lining is nice too. It does come with this removable strap, which has a sort of a brushed cotton kind of feel. It's not super slippery like a seatbelt. I don't know. This is kind of small for me. I don't know that I would ever use this as a crossbody. I'm wondering if you can also strap it on like a fanny pack. I'm not sure. But I'm thinking I might try to use this maybe depending on its length and how short I can adjust it. I might use it with other bags because I do like to switch around my straps because I'm sort of particular about my strap lengths, my strap drop lengths. So that might be helpful. That might be a useful thing to have. Let's just see if I can turn this inside out. It has a zipper pocket on one side, and on the other side it has 4 card slots, and a piece of elastic. Like it seems like you might be able to put a chapstick or something in there, or a really small pin. Here's the side with the zipper pocket. I'll just get the tag out of the way. So this is a nice color too. It's like navy blue on a real like army fatigue kind of green. I've always been partial to that color because when I was a kid, I wore like those sweaters. I don't know what they're called. I don't remember what they're called. Those sweaters that have that rib, that thick vertical rib, and then they have the fabric patches, and they're in the army green. I miss my dad's army issue sweater, but you could get those in probably even still today in like Army Navy surplus stores, which are always kind of fun to go into and see what you can get. And when I was in high school, we all used to wear those fatigue jackets, those army fatigue jackets that were, had all the pockets and the hood that folded up into the collar. So I'm partial to this kind of a color. I don't think I'll never wear this probably as a bag. I don't think I'll ever use it with a strap. I'm just thinking I could use this as a pouch in another bag, or maybe just as a clutch. I don't know if it'll work as a clutch. It has some thickness to it. It has some width to it. I guess you could wear it, carry it like a clutch. And it's got these 2 loops that the fabric loops that the strap attaches to instead of hardware. That's kind of like the utility finishing on the utility tote. For that removable strap is also, I showed it in the video recently, it's got fabric loops rather than hardware. I mean, they feel sturdy. They feel sturdy. Anyway, so I was at my little hanging around sloth haul, unexpected, and the Java, oh God, I know I just said it and can't remember, as I always say, my mind's a sieve. Java Navy Camo. I would love this in a Vera tote. I mean, or a Glenna or some. I don't know if they're making the Carson. I think they're still making the Carson. I don't know if they're still making the Carson shoulder bag, but I would love this in a real bag. I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm not hopeful from what they're showing right now on the website. It's a casserole carrier and other little kind of things. I mean, a ruler, really. I mean, this would look gorgeous in a blanket, in a throw. Oh, that reminds me, they had, in the retailers, they had the throw in this, but I was, I needed, my rewards points only got me, and my discount only got me so far, and so I couldn't get everything. So maybe, in the future, I got to get that sloth blanket, because it's just, I couldn't unfold it in the store. They have them tied up in the ribbon, and I didn't want to make a nuisance of myself, because I want them to still like me there. I don't want them to see me coming and be like, oh God, that lady. But the colors look beautiful. I think it's going to look like an adorable, beautiful blanket. I mean, that's the thing with this pattern, right, is that it's cute because of the sloths, but it's also got a prettiness about it because of the flowers and the small leaves and the spiraling, the vines, the line work in the vines, and the branches, let's say. And this is kind of what I would have wanted the Harry Potter patterns to look like. A little bit more feminine. They don't have to, they don't have to be super girly, they don't have to be super pretty, cute, but still have a slight prettiness about them, a softness about them. The Harry Potter patterns are a little masculine for me. They're a little manly. This is not. This is very pretty. It's just totally in love with it. In love with it. All over it. And I really hope they have some bags in it. Anyway, I hope people found that helpful. I know I'm not in my usual spot, so it might be a little awkward, but I wanted, the light isn't good, and I wanted to get as close to a window as I could. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and hopefully see you next time on Vera Bradley Bag of the Day.